Hi again, everyone. Welcome back to We Can Do This. I am Julie, and welcome to my channel. I broadcast live every week, and we talk about self help topics, and I input from my personal life experiences in the hopes that maybe you find something in this information that'll help you and support you in your journey to improving yourself or making yourself feel a little bit better. So, once again, welcome back. I hope you had a great week and you're having a great weekend. So, I always start off with asking you to please remember to subscribe and like. Then that way you will get the notifications of my broadcast. And also, please know this is my disclaimer. I am not a trained professional in the medical field in any way. If any of the topics that we talk about or any of the information you would like to learn more about it or think that you would like to get help based on using the information that's been provided here, please reach out to a professional, a therapist, your PCP, whatever specialist you can find to help you in getting better and feeling good about yourself. So, like I said, welcome back. And I thought I would keep it light this week. And as you can tell, Pager is behind me. He's helping me out again today. Um, I wanted to keep it light this week and do something that's a little off the norm. But I've had a lot of people ask me these particular questions today that I'm going to review today. So I thought I'd just put it out here so that you can learn what I've done. So the topic today is being a YouTuber. Why did I decide to become a YouTuber? How did I become a YouTuber? Where did you start? Doesn't the camera scare you? Um, it's just really easy, right? Like you just go on a camera and talk. So those are some of the comments that I've gotten. So I'm going to answer all of those for to hopefully give you a little bit better idea of why I started doing this and what is actually entailed in doing these weekly broadcasts. And I think some of it's really going to surprise you. So with that being said, let's start with the why. Why did I become a YouTuber? Why did I want to become one? Well, it's not a real loaded question, but it goes back to part of who I am. You know, all of my life in one way or another, my goal is to help people. You know, whether that's been through my church growing up, whether that was in the fire department, you know, being an EMT, you know, whether it's been being a Girl Scout, you know, whatever it was, you know, I've always done different things that have helped people in different ways. And I thought that this would be a great outlet to reach a different audience and use my experience and my knowledge and pair that with the research that I'm doing to help others. So, in a nutshell, that's really why I wanted to do this. It's not real complex. Um, but how did I learn to become a YouTuber? I knew nothing about being a YouTuber, you guys. I knew nothing. I'm not, I mean, I can technically hold my own, but I'm not savvy, you know, like some of these other people who are really, really great at it. So, how I started was really watching other YouTubers. You know, what did they talk about? You know, what kind of equipment did they have? You know, I'd watch their videos and see what they had. Um, and as you can tell, I use a software called StreamYard. The logos up in the corner there. Um, and I started kind of there, just watching them and watching other YouTubers and kind of made the decision that some of them are really, really evolved and really into a lot of investment into like cameras and lighting and studios. And I just didn't have that kind of money. You know, I was holding my own, but, you know, living paycheck to paycheck, I didn't have a lot of extra cash. So I knew I had to find something that was really simple and really economical that I could use. So what I learned is that there's a lot involved with being a YouTuber. It's not just a matter of jumping in front of a laptop and just starting to talk. So, what did I have to put together before I even did my first broadcast? There was a lot that went on that I had to do, a lot of purchasing a couple things and learning along the way. So, the first thing was my software. I noticed that a couple of the other YouTubers are using the same software that I am, and it's called StreamYard. Now, I'm using the free version, and with the free version, you have to have the logo on your broadcasts, which is unfortunate, but I had to be frugal about it. So I didn't have the money to go the step up, and I definitely didn't have enough money for the premium package. I didn't go into this thinking that I was going to have millions of people watching me, and I was going to make tons of money at this. I'm doing a topic that a lot of people really don't want to hear. They don't want to admit that they have a problem or they have an issue and that they want to do something about it. A lot of times, in life we fluff things off. And I know this topic is not popular of, we can do this and, we're doing this together. But that's okay. I'm doing it because it's what's in my heart to do. So along with the software, purchasing it, I also had to learn how to use it. And not only did I have to learn how to use it on my own, on my laptop, I also had to learn how to use it on my phone, which is a little different because the screen is so much smaller. And those of you who've been watching me for a while realize that whenever I've broadcasted outside on my deck in the summertime, I've had to use my phone because the camera I was using at the time, the lighting was really, really bad. And it just was not a good thing to be broadcasting with the type of lighting I was having. So I had to learn a little more and get flexible with it and change avenues at the drop of a hat if I had to, and I've had to do that. So the second thing is camera. So when I began, I found another free software that was the camera, and it wasn't good quality, but at the time it was what I could afford. I quit using that a while ago. I bought a camera through Amazon and I tried that, but once again, the lighting was really bad. And that's one of the other reasons I quit doing my broadcasts in the study is because it tends to be a very darker room. And even with the light on in the room, I wasn't happy with the lighting I was getting there. So I moved out to my living room where it's a lot more homey and comfy and cozy. And, my assistants, they can help me out here and be comfortable while they're doing it. And I have good lighting. So I'm just using the camera on my laptop. It's been simplified over the time I've been doing this. So the other thing is lighting. When I was back in my study, I had to go onto Amazon and I bought a tripod with literally a circle light on it. And it has a thing in the middle where I could put my phone in it. And if I wanted to broadcast using my phone, I would have the light surrounding it. Now, I've never used it for that, but I did use it for lighting. I no longer use it because I've come out to my living room and it's much brighter out here now. So I've played around with lighting as well. Audio is another thing. Right now, I just use the speakers, that are on my laptop. I have the newer laptop now, so they work very well. But that's one thing that I had to think about. The other thing is topics. In learning how to do this, they said, got to get a lot of topics up front. Don't just go in cold turkey and then week to week, you find that you're struggling to find a topic and then you need to do the research and the prep and everything, and you don't have time to do it. And a lot of people who don't get really well prepared get frustrated and quit doing it. And, they just kind of fluff it off. Well, I made a ton of I think I must have had at least 30 to 40 topics. And then once I got those, I had to go out online and find articles. And I tried to find articles that were not overly simplified, but they were really good at sticking to the tips that they were giving And then I would put that into my experiences. And I find a lot of articles pretty much on everything I talk about here, but I tend to pick the ones that are not 20 pages long. I pick the ones that are easy for me to relate to, that I think you'll relate to as well. Another thing is background. You'll notice the last couple of weeks I've been playing around with the background. Uh, I I've been using a circle now. I can make it a square. I can make it elongated, like the whole screen. And I've added I changed the color in the background, and you've noticed I've actually have some banners up now. Where down below that we can do this. That's today's topic: becoming a YouTuber. Um, and the other thing is clothing. Now, I know my sister's going to laugh about this one whenever she hears me say this. But I have to tell you, I am not very good at picking out clothing, as you can tell. I am very much into being comfortable. Um, so when I do these broadcasts, I've worn hoodies. It's wintertime, so now I'm wearing, kind of flannel stuff. And it's a weekend, so I'm going to be chill. I'm going to be one, just kind of be what I'm comfortable in and hanging out. Um, and now during the week, that's not the case. I don't dress up. I wear jeans, but I have really nice sweaters my sister's bought me. She has great taste. But for the weekend thing, but I had to think about that too. Doing my hair, clothes, all that stuff. So those are a lot of the things that I actually had to do even before I did my first podcast. So whenever it comes to my week, what do I have to do to get ready to do an actual broadcast? Well, the first thing I have to do is pick a topic. And I usually pick topics like a couple weeks in advance before I even tell you guys that I'm going to be doing a broadcast on them. Because it takes time for me to find topics, find the right article or blog or whatever it is I'm using, and to keep that catalog of topics and information out there. And it takes time to research it. So what I actually do is whatever I found, I actually go through the whole article and I use a highlighter. I go through and I highlight all the information in the article that I feel is going to be pertinent, that'll be good for me to use. But then in the side, I make all my own notes and I put my own experiences and my own life into it, what I've seen, what I've heard, what I've been through. So I build upon what the recommendation is, but I try to put it into a circumstance so that you can all relate to it and maybe see it a little bit more clear rather than just being an encyclopedia explanation of it. So I read it. I have to take my own notes, which takes time. I do that during the week. And once I do that, then the next thing I do is I think about how everything is going to relate. I put everything together in my head without a better way of putting it. I put things better into my head. And then the one other thing I really need to think about is, am I going to have a guest this week? Now, I've had a couple guests. I've had 2 guests on. And the one I really had to coax, but now they really, after a couple of times, they feel real comfortable. But the one thing that everybody asks me is, aren't you afraid to go in front of a camera? And I laugh whenever people ask me that, because I've been in front of an audience my entire life. I've been in a band on a football field. I've been in 2 Broadway shows in high school. I've been in front of an audience my entire life. Being a buyer, I'm in front of an audience all the time, every day. I am a popular person, maybe sometimes not in the best of ways, but I'm always on a stage. So talking to a camera is very easy for me, and it does not bother me in any way, shape, or form. So that's what I do during the week. So what do I do when I get to Saturday? Well, Saturday, I get up in the morning, clean, do my thing. And then starting in the afternoon, after I'm done with my lunch, I start my prep. So one of the first things I do is I do my hair, pick out what shirt I feel like wearing today. Then I sit down, I pull my notes out, and I look over them again to refresh my memory, look at the highlights I made, and I almost always am adding more things that, sometimes when you step away from something and then come back to it later, you think of new things or maybe see something from a different perspective. So I do that. I make more notes, go over my notes. So an hour before I go live, I actually do a dry run. And what I'm talking to you about now, I've actually done this already one time. So I'm a little bit more familiar now that I've gone through my notes before I do my broadcast. I do an actual broadcast before the broadcast. So I get over a lot of the bumps and clearly think through some of the things that I may stumble over in the pre-trial run that I will do better. Now that I've already gone through it and I already know what I'm going to talk about. So once all that prep is done, the hair, the makeup, then I've got to get into my studio. And I pull my studio up in my software. I've got to check my lighting. I've got to check my audio, make sure my speakers are working fine. I have to do all that. And then I have to set it up in the screen that you're seeing here. So I've done all this in my studio. It's just like if you would be on the news or something where they have cameramen. It's the exact same thing. It's just a lot simplified. It's not such a grand scale because I am a crew of one. Well, except for Pager back here. Okay, so here I am. I'm doing this now, talking to you. So when I'm done, that's not the end either. Once I'm done, when I'm after post broadcast, I will go out and put this YouTube session on my Facebook because my channel is very small and I'm a very little fish in the big Amazon pond. So it's very hard to find my channel. So I post it on my Facebook so that people can find it easier. And actually, my boyfriend Mark sends it to some of our friends who are not on Facebook so that they can view it as well. So that's one of the things that has to happen. And then after I'm done putting it on Facebook, I come back to my studio and then I put together and post the topic that I'm going to do the following week. And I set it on the schedule for the time that I'm going to be broadcasting, which is usually Saturday at 4, but sometimes I move it depending on what our plans are on that day. So I set up the broadcast for the next week already, right after I'm done with this. So once that's done, I take a little break, decide, and I've already decided what my topic is going to be for the next week because I give you guys a teaser every week. And then I take a break for a day, and then Monday it starts all over again. Reading the research, making my notes, going over those notes, all of it again. It's the same thing. So every week, literally, I can put in about 3 hours or longer before I even go live. And it depends on the topic. Sometimes the topics that I do are a little more deep and are a little harder for me to talk about. So I have to spend more time on them. Whereas some of the other ones are, I didn't, obviously I didn't have any research. I'm the research. So I did make a page of notes though. So I sat down this week and did that. Because I wanted to think through everything and get everything down so that I could remember to answer all of the questions that I've been asked, over the past year. And so this week, I'm going to begin all over again once I'm done today. So there's one other question that I was asked. And I wanted to talk about it too, because a couple people have asked me. I guess I was missed, and I appreciate that. But a couple people asked me, I took a break for a couple of months at the end of last year. And they said, where'd you go? We really missed your broadcast. We're really excited you're coming back. And I said, well, life happened. For lack of anything else better to say, it was life that happened. It wasn't something that happened to me. It was actually, my family, my friends. There was some medical things going on that I needed to be there to support. And that was my priority to do that. I had to be there for mental support, physical support for a couple months. And then once I got into the beginning of the year, I realized that I had the itch again. So I wanted to get back at it, as soon as I got into this new year, and I have a new job now, so I've got a lot of new things happening, and I wanted to get back into it. So here I am. So that's the answer. I had life happen for a couple months, but I am back, and you are too, which I am very happy about. So please, please, please remember to subscribe and save. Give me a thumbs up, please. I like it. I appreciate you so much for being here with me and being a supporter of mine. If you know of anybody who you think could benefit from my broadcasts, please give them the information, pass it on to them, and please share it. I would love to have them join me, and I love the fact that you join me every week as well. So now is teaser time. So in my research, and this kind of goes to the fact that, I'm a new employee now again, and this kind of came to my mind the one day, and I'm kind of chuckling about it. But, I'm older now. We all get older. It's all coming. And, as we get older, I'm not afraid of change. I've had to change continually my entire life, from one thing to another. And I'm not afraid of change. But one thing with change is how other people treat you during this time of change for you. And I'm in a new position, and I have to say, I have the best team I'm working with. They are amazing. They're great. They're knowledgeable. And one thing they are, which really, really makes me happy and I appreciate, they're patient. But as we get older, I think we find ourselves not being so patient anymore with certain things. So next week, that's what I'm going to talk about. What are some things that we just don't have the patience for as we get older? I thought that'd be kind of a unique topic to do since I'm kind of experiencing it now. So it just kind of came to my mind. So with that being said, my friends, I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. You have a wonderful week next week. And we're now going to do our ending, and we know how it goes, right? We can do this. We got this. I can and I will. You will too. I believe in you. I wouldn't be here if I didn't. Believe in yourself. You're worth it. You deserve it. We all do. That's what we're here for, to do it together. So with that being said, my friends, thank you for being here with me. Take care. Stay safe. And I will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. So until next time, my friends, bye-bye.